I wanted to say ladies and gentlemen, then I thought no lady. Yeah. So, social source for change. Please come forward. Very patiently waiting. But you have all 10 minutes balance. That's a good advantage. Source for change, they had a good entry. And this is the last presentation. After that, I will request Murli to make a very quick concluding remarks. He
I just want to play a short video which will also cover what Harva was trying to show, because I'm sure stuff is very similar. This actually shows the women in operation and how the whole thing works. Just a minute. Sorry. How do I do it?
The idea behind Source for Change is to...
How do you do full screen on this? No, we stopped it deliberately. Now how do we start?
The idea behind Source for Change is to harness the untapped potential in the smaller Indian cities to provide BPO and back office services. Indian companies today are losing their competitiveness to foreign companies like those in the Philippines because of rising costs of labor and rising costs of employment in the larger Indian cities like Delhi and Mumbai. What Source for Change and other companies like us that operate out of smaller cities do is bring back the competitive edge for Indian companies. Source for Change is a BPO company and we are staffed entirely by women.
सोर्स फॉर चेंज यहाँ पे है, वहीं मेरे पास में घर है, तो मुझे एक तो यहाँ से दूर नहीं जाना पड़ता, एक तो इसलिए मैंने ज्वाइन किया क्योंकि मेरे घर के पास है और अकॉर्डिंग जैसा मुझे काम चाहिए था वैसा मुझे यहाँ पे मिला है.
We faced a lot of challenges initially. One of them was to convince the men of the community who were skeptic about the idea of women can also work. And now we have every alternate day men coming to our office asking us to hire their wives and daughters.
People, especially the youth in smaller cities, are as intelligent, if not more, than those in the larger cities like Delhi, Mumbai, or Bangalore. The only thing they lack is job-oriented training. And Source for Change has training modules to address just that issue.
The reason for playing this was to kind of give a perspective of how this whole thing really looks. Everybody's talking about rural BPOs, but how does a rural BPO look? What are the kind of people working there? How do they work? Stuff like that. And also some of the challenges that were voiced. For example, what Shroth said is very typical. Initially, we had a lot of challenge in trying to get the women to even get the women to come and undergo training, because the men didn't want, either the fathers, brothers, husbands, they did not want their women to go out. Very similar to where Harva is, rural Rajasthan, semi-urban Rajasthan, I would say. Women are practicing parda and the men didn't want them to go. And now it's like the other way around. Now we have the sarpanch of nearby villages coming and putting pressure on us to tell, to recruit his or her, to recruit his people from his, women from his family. So, it's been an interesting journey to travel from a place of resistance to, and I'll just, okay. So we all know that the future is rural. Everybody's talking about it, whether it's financial services, whether it is product companies, whether it is training delivery, whether agribusiness and everything. So, I think it's about time that every business starts about, targeting or looking seriously into the rural space. What Source for Change is currently doing, its model is actually to deliver services from the rural areas. You know, we have people trying to service the rural areas like microfinance companies or agri-businesses and all. But what we are trying to say is, you know, why not make the people part of the knowledge economy and gain from that? You know, people in graduates and school-going students in Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, they've suddenly, the tremendous opportunity has opened up because of the knowledge-based jobs that have come up in those cities, and, you know, those cities have flourished. I moved to Gurgaon about 11 years back, and, you know, believe me, it's just exactly, it used to look the same as what Bagar, where we are right now, looks like. You know, Gurgaon used to look very similar to that 10 years back. So, you know, we're trying to change this. So, what is Source for Change? We are currently a rural BPO. We're based on, you know, we're based on the premise that we're going to be employing women to include them in the knowledge sector. And the reason why we choose women is that women are less mobile than men. They have lesser opportunities. Men can always migrate to the cities. There are cities nearby like Jaipur, Delhi, you know, so they have opportunities there, but women folk will not. So, and what we are trying to do is equip that with contemporary technology and processes. And one gentleman from ILFS had asked, you know, what about the reliability or, you know, other data confidentiality issues? We're trying to turn that on the head. We're saying that we want to be a highly reliable service provider, both in terms of accuracy, turnaround time, and data security. And some of the issues that used to be faced in running an IT-based enterprise in the rural areas have kind of now been you know, obviated with the BSNL going with its broadband network. So we have a pretty good high-speed broadband network in Bagar. In fact, the speeds are much better than what we get from, you know, private service operators in the cities. And my Tata Indicom Photon also works better there, even though there is no 4x, it's only 1x. But because there's low contention in the network, it works better there. And of course, there are power backup solutions that have come up. We don't have a solar stuff right now, but, you know, even in diesel-based generators, we can get a good power reliability, even though the electricity may not be very reliable. So, you know, our key is, what we are trying to do is not really copy or not really go after all the service that is happening currently from urban cities. But what we are trying to do is take the current skill sets, take the current ability of people, of the women here. And most of these women, I mean, our minimum criteria is 12th pass. We're not going anything less than 12th. Because in our area, we've seen in the Jhunjhunu area, there's a lot of women education. There are about 35 colleges in a proximity of, I guess, 50 kilometers, 50 to 100 kilometer radius. There are more than 35 colleges, 4 or 5 women-only polytechnics and women-only colleges. But the sad part is they, you know, unless they move out to other city or they get a job in a school or a government department, the jobs are very limited. These women then, you know, they take their education. Some of them have done graduation, their MAs, BAs, and they have no option. They're just sitting at home. So, you know, some of the stuff that we can do and we are doing are data entry and, you know, stuff like survey data entry, customer activation forms, you know, data entry of those forms, KYC, ID data entry. Then we're also doing video transcription. You know, this is again Hindi. We're in a Hindi heartland, so anything which is you know, said in Hindi and needs to be typed in English, you know, for global audiences, we're transcripting that. We're doing some kind of translation activities. The other thing we are also doing is conversion. You know, there are a lot of documents that need to be converted, so we're doing format conversion. We also do bulk scanning and indexing of high volume paper. And then there are content services. So these are the various service offerings. I mean, these are classification of service offerings that we've kind of figured out that these are some things that we can do efficiently. And, so we're kind of concentrating more on these. We're deliberately not going into the voice-based services. And these are some of the industries that we're servicing, companies in these industries. We're not servicing all, and neither are we reaching to all of these industries, but some of them are in the research segment, telecom, internet portals, microfinance, publishing. But, all this, the earlier two slides look good, but there were definitely challenges. And, some of the challenges I already talked about. Initially, to set up, we needed to have a strong community buy-in. There was a very clear objection to women working outside the home. Then there was a recruitment challenge. We could not really find people who were computer literate. There's actually almost zero computer literacy. The irony is some people may have had training on computers in schools or colleges, but they've never actually switched on a computer. So, that's the irony. And then, it's also important to be able to bridge this divide or the inability to work on computers in a short period to make them productive. And the other side of challenges were the business related challenges where we had, infrastructure related challenges, power, internet connectivity, logistics. There was, we used to have a challenge in getting tech support for our computers till the time we kind of figured out how to do it ourselves. A lot of things we now do, even the soldering part is done by some local people there. We've kind of, then there's a transportation problem. But, over and above everything, there is the biggest problem in scaling up, which we are still facing, is misconceptions by the corporate sector or by the, even government. We've been actively talking to Rajasthan government for outsourcing work. There's a lot of data work that is being done at various state level governments, district level. And, what the clients are, whether they're government, private, corporate, what they're wary of is the ability of a rural kind of setting to be able to deliver. So that is the biggest challenge that we're facing right now. And our success mantra, to an extent has been our unique model. The Harvard people talked about it earlier. So we've kind of figured out women employees are more committed, they're less distracted. Even though they start earning, they won't kind of start, they won't start thinking out. They would, if you tell them something that, look, please do this day in, day out, this is your target, 20 forms per day everybody has to do, they will do it without distractions. And then, of course, low mobility, less attrition and all. And, there's a high level of, we have some women interviews also, I'm not playing them for the paucity of time, but, the changes that this has made to their lives, they really look forward to coming to us every day, and they want more and more people, they're kind of spreading the word of, by word of mouth that this is a great place to work. Even though it's very dull, boring job, I mean, sometimes, even if I have to do a sampling of a form for 1 or 2 hours, I get bored. But they are highly motivated because, they feel that it's made a substantial difference to their life. And on the other side, the delivery side, what we're trying to do is take in some of the processes that are there in mature business process outsourcing models, try to build in BCP. And, again, there is a rigorous, right from inception, the moment they come in, even for training, there's a very, very clear focus on quality. Even if we are going below cost or whatever for the initial, even if you're not covering costs, we would still invest in quality and, and then some of the other things that we're doing are Six Sigma implementation, training, skill development, soft skills, etc., etc. And we just saw, we do this stress-free yogic exercises to kind of, because it's pretty boring work, so, we try to keep that. And these are some of the, I just want to quickly, so the misconceptions of clients actually go off when they give us work. So this is a company in Houston, a real estate company. This is what he had to say. And this is Rukmini Banerjee from Pratham, India's largest NGO. In fact, they were our first clients, and now we're having a regular month-on-month work from them. They do a lot of data processing work, survey data work. So, we do a lot of it for Rajasthan, Pratham Rajasthan. And we did this data entry of the GNH survey of the government of Bhutan. So GPI Atlantic in Canada did the survey, they administered the survey, and we actually did some part of the data entry of that was done by us, and Ron Coleman was very happy. He's a great advocate for us, and these are some of the acclamations that we've received: Wall Street Journal, UNCTAD report, NETV, Economic Times, Rockefeller Foundation. So, what we are trying to say is that this is a win-win model for both the society and industry. For the women it creates, for the society it creates empowered women, leads to better living standards for the whole family. And for the industry, more so. Why, why we want the industry to really listen to it is, look, it's expanding the available pool of knowledge workers. People are talking about attrition, availability of manpower in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Delhi. But, why don't you try and invest in, these places to expand your, and then it is also going to add to your competitive edge. We are losing out to Philippines and other destinations. If we untap the potential in the rural markets, we're going to get back in the BPO sector. So this is what.
Thank you. I think it's a great work. I have a very quick question. How much they get paid?
3,500 to 4,000. The team leaders get paid about 8,000. And our other costs are also lower. So, we pay, our rental is, for a 3,000 square feet space, our rental is about less than 3,000 rupees. So, and related facilities and all that is also very, the sweeper comes and does everything for less than 500 a month. Peon is for 1,000 a month. So